And good morning. I hope your day is starting out well. I thought I'd start mine by looking like a watermelon. The more I look at this shirt, the more it reminds me of a Jolly Rancher. Do y'all remember those? I hope your day is well. But it is warm, 69 degrees, and we should get close to 78, 79 before it's over. Why? There's storms in the area. Now, if you go to the National Weather Service site this morning and look at where the bad weather, and I based a lot of that when I was putting my stuff together and then realized that it had been updated since they updated their page. Does that make sense? Let me just show you. We'll dig deeper into the weather here in just a little bit. Here's our chance of severe weather today. Originally, they had moved this line north of us all the way toward Winston County. That has now changed. Lauderdale County still at a level 1. Most of Kemper now is included in a level 2, and most of Newton County is a level 2 today. Again, this is where it starts at Jackson and moves northeasterly out of here toward the Tuscaloosa area, kind of northwest of there. But portions, and let's turn this on so you'll see here where you live in relation to this stuff here. This will cut across right at the coal plant through Kemper County and go straight across northeasterly to Scuba and out through Bennsville. As we come back down here, the line will be right here at Battlefield and come across in Decatur and come right across right here at Lawrence at the post office. This side is a level 1. This side is a level 2. So we'll watch this. We'll get deeper into this forecast here in just a moment. But I do wanted to show you that first off as you begin your day. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out while we're just showing things, early this morning as we watch this line, look at this stuff up here. This is north of us. Right in this area of Tennessee, a tornado warning expired at 6:15 this morning. But it is raining cats and dogs and severe weather. If you'll look at that, 58-mile-an-hour shear winds coming with these storms in both of those. So if you live in this part of Tennessee and you're watching Union City, right along in there, that is very, very severe weather this morning. We'll get back to the weather in a little bit. Look at all that line that's out there. Jonesboro, Arkansas, all your friends. And then, of course, this is going to cut across through here. Hopefully, Mississippi will miss the most part of this. That's what we're hoping. But we've got your entire forecast coming up this morning to plan your day. 50% chance of thunderstorms, but in other areas it'll be a little worse than others. Not as bad as it was last Thursday by any means. We're not expecting that in our area, but we'll stay on top of it just the same to let you know. Well, it's been, 24 hours since we last seen each other, and a lot has transpired since then. As we begin this day, there's lots to talk about. And let's begin our local developments in Clarke County as we go to Clarke County Hot Topics for our first subject this morning. This is sad. You don't understand all that goes with this. But a Quitman woman has been arrested on a murder charge. This all started at around 2 a.m. on Saturday to where on a bridge her husband was shot. He later died. How horrible that is. It's just bad, bad, bad. As you go to the Sheriff's Department as they investigate this, and this all comes from the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, they were called to the incident of the shooting on Highway 63. It was just past the River Ridge around 2 a.m. She's 49 years old, Miss Susan Ashley Dykes. He was rushed to the hospital. He later died of his wounds. I know a lot of people know her. I don't know all of the situations, but we pass along condolences. A situation that turned bad, it sounds like. Hang on just a second. And, yep, forgot to turn off my weather alarm. That would have been loud. Sorry about that. As we get back to this story, this would, as we said, just sad situation there in Clarke County. A lot of people know her, as I was pointing out. It's just not a good situation at all. We'll learn more about this as the investigation continues as we watch that. Our next story that we wanted to bring up, I brought you the story early Sunday morning about a robbery that happened in Meridian. $43 is what they got when they broke into armed robbery. Strong-arm robbery is the term that was used at the CEFCO. The 22nd Avenue Heights exit is where that was, where you get off, the one that sits on top of the hill there. A gentleman parked behind by the dumpsters in a gray-looking Toyota, walked in with a note and demanded money. Let's take a look at this as the Meridian Police Department now has released pictures of the suspect. Now, again, the camera system in this store is not the best. They need to upgrade, in my opinion, as you look at this. This is the Cefco there, kind of grayed out. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit. As you get closer on that, it will be hard to determine who that is on any of these pictures as you look at this. This is what they have, and this is what's been released there. This is the car. This is probably the biggest giveaway that there could possibly be with this. And if you're wondering where the store is and all of that, right there. That's the 22nd Avenue store that was robbed again. This was Sunday morning around 2:30, 2:40 in the morning. As your mama said, and I've said before, nothing good happens after midnight, does it? Always the things that go on that shouldn't. But that's it. And again, that's the car that the Meridian Police Department has released. And this is the suspect. Now, again, that's not a lot to go on with these photos. As we all see that if you own a business and if you're watching me, invest with the best. Spend a little bit more, get better cameras, because when it comes time to identify something, it's better to have that. And again, I want to remind you, I know that a lot of people end up in the little Facebook jail from time to time. If you do, we now carry everything on the website that we carry on Facebook in case that happens to you, to where you can go to that. And how do you get there? Let me just show you that up here in the corner there. sammedia.network is how you get there. And it's laid out from Scotty Ray's Weather to Candace and I, our podcast from True BS, to the arrest. We've got a bunch of arrests here that you can check, and we'll look at that in just a moment. I'll show you the different ones that we carry. Now, what does your pet mean to you? Well, there's a lot of folks that they're near and dear. We go to Marion, Mississippi, to where there's a huge reward being offered right now. And let's pull up these pictures of these two dogs in case you're riding around today. They want them back pretty bad. As we look at this, see this pup here? Cute fella, isn't he? This is the second one. They are offering a $2,000 reward for the safe return of these pups. Again, if you've seen any of them, you can call 917-5950. And again, they were rescue dogs to begin with, and they would like them back. They weigh between 30 to 40 pounds. And again, a $2,000 reward being offered. Let's show both of these pups again. Here's this one. Got a little German Shepherd mix in him. And then this one probably does too. They may even be brothers. Not real sure there. But $2,000 for the safe return of these pups. If you've seen them, they sure would like to have them back. And again, you can visit the website and take a better look at that, or on Facebook. Either way you want to do that, it's listed there. Yesterday, do y'all realize we were only 100 days out from hurricane season? That is so hard to believe. June 1st, middle of the year, is right around the corner. Here's the list of names. And as you dig into this, you'll find that every 6 years they repeat the name. Alex is going to be the first named storm of the year as it comes out. Walter will be the last, and then they've got some special names listed after that. But there you go, 100 days away. Mark your calendars on that, and we'll start having to cover that once again. Oh, and I needed to say happy birthday to Sandy Hemingway Clarke, who is celebrating her birthday today. I certainly hope, Sandy, you have a big birthday. She and I graduated together many, many moons ago. I'm still waiting on my cake you promised me on my birthday. I'm just going to tell you. But, Sandy, I do hope you have a wonderful day. She is a teacher at Meridian Community College nowadays, all grown up on me and everything. So, Sandy, I wish you the best today and hope it's a big one and you get a big cake, too. Hope so, anyway. All right, as we turn to our next story, this happened Saturday night. I spoke with the police chief of Philadelphia yesterday, and a murder occurred in Philadelphia over the weekend, and all too often we see these drive-bys. And this is the scene of this as we go back to the webpage here to look at more of this. Police department has made an arrest. They have not announced who it is, but downtown Philadelphia, gunshots rang out Saturday night in Philadelphia in the Valley View Drive area. The Philadelphia police department responded to the call and were notified that a gunshot victim had just arrived at the Neshoba General Hospital by car. The individual was later pronounced dead at the hospital. He was identified as 18-year-old William Arnold of Philadelphia. The shooting is believed to have taken place there in the 500 block of Valley View Drive. Chief Eric Lyons says that they have made an arrest. They expect to make more arrests and they will announce who it is and what the charges are before all of that is turned loose. But at least they have made a step forward into arresting someone. 18 years old, losing your life for what? Somebody riding around doing that. We see too many cases of this, don't we? Philadelphia is where this went on. As I mentioned, if you want to find out what's going on, and we carry this for Lauderdale County, we carry it for the city of Meridian, and I wanted you to do this where you can visit this. It's real easy to read. Let me throw it back up on the screen. If you want to find out who's been arrested, we've got the Philadelphia arrest report here, and it goes through all the pages of everyone who's been arrested and what the charges are. You can drop there and read that. Now, if you want to find out what happened in the county, both Erics are there. Eric Clarke, you can find out who his deputies have arrested. We've got the entire list here where you can scroll through and take a look. Now, again, as I said, we also offer this Lauderdale County, and we also offer it for the city of Meridian. So if you like to know what's going on, visit some old high school friends there. They're listed there, but take a look at that. We list those. The updates come once a week for Philadelphia and Neshoba County, and then we do this daily for Lauderdale County and for the city of Meridian. As we were talking yesterday morning about this time, there was a break-in in Meridian, Mississippi, and we pulled this next story up. This happened at a fairly new business to the Meridian area, R&R Tires. This is located on Roebuck Drive, and you think, well, Roebuck Drive, where is that? This would be South Frontage Road, more or less, in Meridian, like you were going down to where the fairgrounds used to be, on that little twist there across from the Cefco. They were broken into yesterday morning around 6:40-ish, 6:30, 6:40. An undetermined amount of cash was taken. They broke in through a door, but they were really nice when they left to slam the door back. When police arrived, it almost looked like it just had damage. But sure enough, they had somebody break in. Now, the thief is identified as a black male. He was wearing jeans, a camo jacket. He also had on mostly white tennis shoes. He had a little bit of black listed on there, and he had a blue backpack. So if you were traveling anywhere there around South Frontage Road yesterday morning and noticed something that kind of fits that description, call the Meridian Police Department. They'd like to talk to you and have a chat with this gentleman here who took some things that, well, wasn't his. As we try to fight crime in the area, that's one of those. So we'll watch that. As we get to some local things, I didn't even know that we had such tie-ins in Mississippi, but the CEO of Netflix, a pretty big company, has donated $10 million to Tougaloo College. That's a big one, isn't it? $10 million that's been donated. As we look at this, and y'all be ready, and we'll talk about this morning at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll come back and join us. But if you hadn't topped off your gas tank in a while, this morning on the way to work is probably a good time to do it. As the gas pipeline last night was shut down, Ukraine, Russia has invaded. Expect gas prices to soar past $4 is what I'm hearing. Fill up those tanks. I think I need to go do mine as well before it gets out of hand. But top off your gas tanks, fill up your cars because issues are coming. War is on the brink. We'll watch and see what has happened. Tanks are rolling this morning from Russia into Ukraine. Not good at all. As we brought you the story yesterday of the Family Dollar, as that surprise inspection that happened in West Memphis, well, they distribute to about 400 stores there to the Family Dollars. The FDA has done an investigation, and they have shut those stores down. About 400 stores over 6 states have been shut down until after this is done. This was due to the warehouse. It wasn't upon the stores that caused this. It was at the warehouse, their distribution center. And again, 400 stores have been shut down until this investigation. They've done a voluntarily return policy. The FDA jumped in. Now, as you dig deeper into this, there was a gentleman that worked at the warehouse that took video of it, posted it on Facebook. He was promptly fired a little bit later. I would imagine by now they have discovered that that was probably a wrong decision to do. We'll see what happens with the Family Dollar. If you shop there, there are items that you don't need to keep. You need to return and get your money back. We'll watch that story closely also. I've got that listed on the webpage as well, and we've also got it here on Facebook if you want to scan back and dig deeper into that. Pearl, Mississippi, and this is just thoughts of being a criminal, I guess, never crossed my mind, but they're out there, and this is an all too common thing. Pearl, Mississippi. There's 3 individuals in jail this morning. Why? Well, they bought themselves a cordless hacksaw and decided that they wanted to take some catalytic converters. They were caught. They're headed to the jailhouse now. I really don't know what those are worth, but it must be worth a chunk for people to keep doing this or crawling into cars in the middle of the night and cutting them off. Sad. Just sad that people do this to your property. Also, if you have a chance, you've got cameras at home, make sure to have those cameras for your vehicle if it's not in a garage locked up where you can see this. Kind of important there. Let's see here. Other things that are happening across the state. A Louisiana woman. This is really close to us. Monroe, Louisiana there. She's been arrested for the 9th time in 2 years after her arrest in a parking lot. Well, she's scary there. She's tough. She's been arrested a lot. And he was on a chase. We'll just leave that story right there. I didn't read all that. I'll just leave that be as we look at that. Nick Saban, as we go over to the Alabama state line, we look at this morning, says he's not interested in retirement. So you're going to be seeing Nick on television for quite some time with the Alabama Crimson Tide. So he's going to be coaching for a while longer. He said he keeps getting asked when he's going to retire. I think he's wanting to push that into the history books a little bit more with those wins. He probably will. Birmingham, Alabama, the police chief says they're fed up with it as they address how many people have been killed, specifically teenagers. Since the beginning of the year, since January 1, gun violence, the first 7 weeks of the year, 8 teens have been shot since January 1st to February 22nd. 8 teenagers killed in Birmingham, Alabama. Sad. But that's the case all across Jackson, probably worse than that. I'd have to look at the numbers, but every day you look at Jackson, Mississippi, it seems to be a little bit worse than it was before. Alabama also, if you're living at the edge of Alabama, you'll probably go, yeah, we need that. They are considering allowing you to wear concealed weapons without a permit anymore. Would you like that? They're pretty close to doing that. It's headed for a vote in the Alabama House. We'll see how that reacts there. Again, as we look at Ukraine getting invaded this morning from Russia, we'll watch this case more and more. Bullfights, as we all know that people that, is it PETA, however you say that, usually start yelling at people that wear, fur coats or anything to that nature. Bullfighting has been a part of Mexico forever, as long as I know, and the headline says about 500 years they've been bullfighting. You've seen it, Little Red Cape? Well, they're making a big push to do away with that in Mexico. All for the, they say it's cruelty to animals. Do you agree? I've never had that urge to be a bullfighter. I figure they could hurt me. But it's big there. Now, I guess the next thing, what country is it, Spain, that does the running of the bulls? All of that could come to an end. But this time they're targeting Mexico about all of that. Cal Rittenhouse. Big one in the news this morning. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth beginning this morning at 8 a.m. I hope you'll come back and join us for this. Cal Rittenhouse said he's ready to sue. Y'all remember all those accusations about that young man that hit the news and people just run him down and just kept on and accused him of being a murderer? Well, he's naming a few folks that he might get. At the top of the list, Whoopi. Whoopi is on the list, and he says he's probably going to sue them. We'll see where that goes. We'll talk again more about that as the morning progresses there. Defended himself. Now, I think most people agree with this, that says he probably should have been home. His mother even drove him there. But besides the fact, he did defend himself. But maybe his mama should have kept him home. But it did happen that way, and he was cleared of all charges to where the media never gave him a chance. We all remember watching that, don't you? They gave that boy a hard time. Sad the way you're condemned in the media these days before you're ever taken to trial, not given a chance. Riots broke out. Things were burned. What about all of that? Are any of those folks going to be charged that burned and made people lose their jobs? Building after building after building. It breaks my heart to sit here and tell you these stories each day. The CDC, they're in the news this morning also. They are refusing to publish data collected for 33 million Americans from ages 18 to 49 about the vaccine, of how effective it was. They don't want to publish it. So what does that tell you? Yeah, I thought the same thing too. I think we know the answer to that. More coming up. Don't rush off. We're going to dig deep into the forecast next to let you know what to expect today. Don't rush off. We'll do that next here. Scotty Ray's weather. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Fresh blueberries, $2.99 a pint. Fresh tomatoes, a 4-pack, $1.99. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $5.99. Assorted Hormel chili, 15-ounce, $1.99. Kraft mac and cheese, 7.25-ounce, 4 for $5. And certified Angus beef T-bone steak, $9.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And as always, if you want a nice, clean family store to go do your grocery shopping in, feel safe while you do it, visit Joe, Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Good folks there. As we begin the forecast this morning, we start out with our friends that are due north of us. Let's go to Kentucky because, well, they've got issues right now as a tornado warning has just been issued for Kentucky. This is Mayfield, Kentucky in this area here. As we zoom in on this, they've got some serious weather floating through the area there. Mayfield right there. We do have some leading edge of these storms back here. If you'll look at that, shear winds of about 70 miles an hour here. So we think about our friends up in this area here. As we back this out for you to see radar and just see how close and, well, hopefully we're going to miss this. This tail will come through Mississippi. This is what we're looking at today. Heavy rains will come into Jackson and Memphis, Tennessee, and those areas there. Jonesboro, Arkansas. So hard you can't hardly see the rain now. The road, rather, in Little Rock, Arkansas as well. As we back out at all of this, and we look at Huntsville and these areas this morning, aerial flood watches out to our west. Norman, Oklahoma. We've been there. You know somebody that lives there. Winter weather advisory mixed in there. Fayetteville, Arkansas has it. Fort Smith, Arkansas. As we go south, just to the southwest of Mississippi here from Beaumont, Texas, over to Lafayette, Louisiana, they've got a wind advisory today. Out to the east here around Pensacola, if you're going to be on the coast this morning, maybe you're watching from those areas there in Florida, a dense fog advisory is issued. And as we go across Georgia there, over near Athens, look at the fog that is corrupting the area there and can't see. Showers all the way up there through Columbus, Ohio, and those areas. Detroit getting a little wet this morning. And as we go out to our west, well, it's cold. That's the best I can tell you about here. We've got a bunch of snow out here, and let's just check in on our friends up here where it's way beyond cold. Now, negative 15 this morning there in Minnesota. Glad I'm not with you up there. And also negative 18. Balmer, North Dakota. What a cold day it must be there for y'all. Montana, well, they're doing better. A negative 8 degrees there if you're visiting any friends and family. And, well, I highly suggest you getting them to come visit you because it's bad there. Let's look at our chances of severe weather again today. As we talked about that when we first began our forecast this morning, let's pull that back up here. This is the severe weather today. And, again, they are getting that chance up here. As we zoom in closer on this to the Meridian area, this will cut across from Jackson, Mississippi, straight through the middle of Newton County and through the middle of Kemper County, making a level 2 here, a level 1 here, all of Neshoba County. You are a level 2, as well as Winston and Noxubee County, Macon, Stark, Vegas. All these areas here are in that level 2 today. As we zoom in a little bit on this, again, Bennsville, Mississippi, across through Scuba Tech, right across here, across Kemper County to where the coal plant is there on 493, across Battlefield right there at the county line, getting just that northwest corner of Lauderdale, right through Decatur, all the way across to Lawrence, Mississippi, and back to Jackson is a level 2. That's what we've got so far today. As we turn this off where you can get a closer look what's happening here to make sure that there's nothing in our area. No rain showing up immediately here. We got a spit shower. Is that the best way to put that? Just a little bit of sprinkle there. Trying to etch up on Lake Teocata here in Winston County this morning. Light rain there. Not much to it there. McCool got a little bit of rain this morning also. That's a quick look at that. Now, let's turn our focus to see what the National Weather Service has to tell us with weather today and a more in-depth look at your forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
All right. As we look at this, our record highs and record lows today, 2018, a high of 86 was set there back in 2018. Let's see here. Today's record low was set in 1963 with a low of 15. Wow, that was chilly, wasn't it? It sure was. As we move across to look at what's going to happen today, we'll get 78 in Meridian. Are y'all hearing me right? February, 78. It just doesn't seem natural. 79 and 80 in Hattiesburg as we go west, peaking out at 81 in Jackson and Vicksburg, Mississippi. Even down to Natchez and Brookhaven north of here, up in the Mississippi State area, we're looking at about 75, 76 degrees. Going to be a warm one, means storms. It always does. As we go south, or east rather, into Alabama, Demopolis, y'all be ready, 80 degrees today. 75 there in Fayetteville, Alabama. Now, here's the threat, and again, this was updated later. This is not accurate. This was done at late yesterday, and they did not update this. This was done about 7 o'clock. It's updated since then. We just looked at the new currents. As we look across at Alabama, they're always up to date on their stuff there at the National Weather Service. Just northwest of Tuscaloosa, that level 2 there, as we looked at that a moment ago. Possibility of some tornadoes in that area there if you live there. There is a flash flood watch across to Alabama, Fayetteville, Jasper. There you go. Be careful in those northern parts of Alabama today for flash flood watches. That's that storm system that's cutting across there. As we look at what's going to be happening over the next 6 to 10 days, cooler weather after the storm passes will make its way to Mississippi and Alabama. Starting to be above average out there in California, and that will head this way eventually as well. Let's look at our 7-day forecast as we do the breakdown so you'll know exactly what happens today. Here we are. Today, expect a 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, at high at 78. Gust of about 25 miles an hour today. Down to only 62 tonight. Boy, what a difference in between that 20-degree weather we had a day or so ago. Tomorrow, just as warm, 74. Down to a 40% chance of shower, 62 for the low on Wednesday. As we go into Thursday, 78 again, 44, and then we start seeing temperatures drop. That cold front that I just showed you there. Temperatures will drop to only a high of 58 there Friday, 37 that night, and for the weekend, chillier. 54 degrees for a high on Saturday. You'll go to church with a 40% chance of rain with a low of 31, back below to that freezing. Now let's go ahead and jump ahead to this next week as we move into March. Can y'all believe that? March 1st, expected to be 65. We'll even get up to 75 there on the 5th. We got some warm temperatures ahead of us there as we get into the 70s that first full week of March. So that's something to look forward to as we get there. I know a lot of folks are ready for spring, but keep in mind that winter is not over. We're going to have several cool snaps before this is all done. Well, that's a quick look at weather this morning, and I'll show a picture of this coming up this morning, but I wanted to announce this. The reenactment that took place in Quitman over the weekend. We have the winner. They were giving away a pistol that was beautiful. I hope you had a chance to see that. Tiffany Whidden of Quitman was the winner. She won herself a Kemper 2 pistol from the Battle of the Texas Hospital, and I'll show you a picture of her and the gun later this morning at 8. Congratulations on that. I know raffle tickets were being sold, and good job for her winning that. Again, let me say thank you for joining me as we start this day out. We're warm. It's 69 right now. Candace is getting ready. She'll join me in just about an hour. We'll also have a special guest this morning. Citizens National Bank, Neil Henry will be in with us. We'll talk about several things that affect you in the community. They're really community-minded and want to help you. If you own a small business, that's what they're there for. If you're looking to build a house, what do you do? Neil will be here to tell us a little bit all about that. That's coming up this morning, beginning at 8. Join us. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and we'll see you soon. And thanks for dropping by and watching the Scotty Ray Report.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by